Welcome everybody to Microsoft Flight Simulator. In this video I'm gonna review the ATR 42-600 and give my own personal thoughts. I'm gonna do a simple flight from Denver to Salt Lake City, and I am going to be on Vatsim, but we currently have no controllers online, but maybe that will change during the flight. Alright, let's go ahead and turn on the systems. Click the battery switch right there. There you go. And then we can go to our aircraft, connect the ground power. Right there. Alright, everything's booted up for now. Looks beautiful. Look at all the details you got inside the displays. You can reset that. Just look at these screens, that already amazed me. First time using this plane. You got so much detail. You can even turn it on and off, set the brightness, contrast. What are you gonna notice right away in this aircraft? You got so many clickable buttons as well. Probably just as much as in the fly-by-wire Airbus. If not even more. Even got simple stuff that you don't even need like that. I mean, that's pretty satisfying. Look at that. Alright, let's go ahead and get the flight plan set up. Just gonna go over here, init, and then position init. And then put in my position, click this button right there, there we go. And then we're just gonna go to flight plan. Then route. And then like I said earlier, we're gonna go from Denver to Salt Lake City. There we go. That's gonna take a little bit to load in. Game pretty much freezes for like 5 seconds, but that's not a big deal. After that we wanna hit execute. Personally, the FMC, I mean, works pretty good. The only complaint that I have, some sits and stars are sometimes not available. So we will see if sits and stars are actually available for this flight. For the runway, we're gonna take 17 right. There it is. And then we will take the Rocky 5 departure, if I can find it. Alright, so I did want to take the Rockies 5 departure, but as I said earlier, some sits and stars are not available. I cannot find Rockies 5 at all. So I'm just gonna go direct to the next waypoint then. Alright, hit execute. Let's see if our star is available at least. For Salt Lake City, we're gonna take 34 right, as long as the wind doesn't change. And then take the Spain 7 arrival, which is available. Spain 7 and then Fairfield. And we're gonna take the Mika transition. There we go. And then we can go ahead and delete the flight plan discontinuity. So we're just gonna go direct to Mika and execute. It does have VNAV, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe I'm just not using it right, but I've only gotten it to work once so far. Overall, the FMC, I mean, it's great. A lot of people who make custom planes, they just put in the FMC of a different plane that's already in the game. So I really like this one. The only downside you have, sometimes you got missing sits and stars because the database is not up to date yet. But hopefully that'll change. Alright, looking outside, I mean, can't really complain. Looks beautiful. I don't really look at the details too much. I mean, I can tell we have details, but honestly, I'm just flying to have fun. I don't really look at the details too much. But overall, looks very nice. Definitely different. Top-wing design, turboprop. The only thing that I have to complain later on that you will see are the props themselves. They seem to wiggle a lot, and the graphics when they spin fast also doesn't look too good. But that's pretty much all I have to say for the exterior. Interior wise, I mean, I don't really look in the back too much. You can even open the door, which is pretty cool. And it's got sounds. I mean, sounds to me is very important for a plane, and the sounds are great in this aircraft. It makes the plane just feel so much more realistic, ambitious. Like, to me, not just graphics or interior exterior, but sounds make so much for an airplane. I mean, interior wise looks really good as well, nothing to complain here. I like these seats. Honestly, I kinda like everything in this aircraft. It just looks pretty. And it's something else, you know, it's not your standard Boeing or Airbus or a Cessna. This is something completely else. And I like it. And like I said, you can flick on so many buttons, you can interact with pretty much anything that you see, except for the fuses. But other than that, I mean, you can interact with everything here. Even the sun visor, got your windshield wipers here. On default, the nav lights and the beacon lights are already on for some reason. Not sure if it's intended to be on at start. Interior and exterior, I got nothing to complain there. Very good. Very well made. Alright, and then we also have the tablet. You got your mic here, you can also make it disappear and appear. Small details that you really don't need, but it's just really nice to have. It also kind of tells you that the devs really put in a lot of work into this plane. You can also make an oxygen test right here. Good sounds, good animations, satisfying. Tablet, I got nothing to complain outside of you cannot turn it on or off. That would have been nice. But I mean, you got so many details. You can even set up your throttle for a specific plane. You got so many options. You got your performance with the V-speeds and everything. I mean, you can't really complain at all. Alright, after the flight plan setup, I'm just gonna do some performance setup. Everything that's yellow highlighted is important. So we're just gonna go back to the tablet right here, 105, 105, 112. And our cruise is gonna be 22,000. And then we can do our weight, but we don't have to. Alright, couple of other things as well. If you're on a flight plan and you get direct to instructions, you can just go over here to DTO, and then you have all your waypoints. You can set up for direct to. And RMS is gonna be your frequency and your transponder. And your ident button is right here as well. You can turn on the transponder and select 2200. And then for now I'm gonna be on Unicom 122.8. And that's done. I also got some traffic alerts on the ground right here. Very nice. Oh, also one big thing about this display is you can change the format and get a really nice ARC mode. Right there. That's much better. You can also change the range down here with the plus and minus buttons. You can decrease and increase the range. Just like that if you look on the screen. Pretty simple. Alright, next I'm just gonna quickly do the autopilot. So I'm gonna set the altitude to 10,000 for now. And I'm gonna do a 170 heading. Autopilot is pretty different as well. Yeah, it does take some getting used to. It does have VNAV. Like I said, I have only gotten it to work once, maybe it'll work this time. And for your ILS, you have to switch this button right here and set your course if you want to use ILS, which we are going to try out today. Alright, next up I'm gonna go ahead and start the engines. Click this right here. And start. And once we hit 10%, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this lever to feather, and I'm gonna leave it at feather. Once we are ready for taxi, I'm gonna set those two levers to auto. And then once we are at auto, I'm gonna get all the juices required to get off the ground power unit. Right, starter's already disengaged. Go to the engine number 1, 10%. And that's the outside view right now. Right now the propellers are turning pretty nicely. Like the graphics are really good. But once we hit the auto on the conditioner lever, you will see the propellers are going to be acting a little bit different. Alright, I'm ready for taxi now, so let's go ahead and pull up the condition levers. Set the flaps. And then you want to make sure your brakes are on because the idle speed is pretty high, and you don't even have to give it power to taxi. Just doing a lot of button pressing right here. Like I said, You got a lot of buttons to press, super satisfying. And we can turn on the taxi lights. And that's it. And you can already hear the engines sounding really nice. Alright, let's get the gas lock off, parking brake off, turn this back on, and let's go ahead and taxi to the runway 17 right. Alright, here we are at 17 left. I do gotta admit, we are at 17 left instead of 17 right because I did miss my turn. But that's why we are here now. Well, I would say let's go ahead and take off into the sunset. Okay, yep, we're just gonna go ahead and hand fly this for a little bit. We'll do a slight right turn. So we can go direct to the waypoint Mika. Let's go ahead and listen to the trim as well. That's the trim. I can tell you right now, hand flying this is a lot of fun. This is a beautiful aircraft to hand fly. And I think I forgot to mention this plane is 20 bucks on your marketplace, and for honestly 20 bucks, this is a beautiful plane. You get a lot worse planes for a lot more money. Right, autopilot is on. Go ahead and do direct to Mika. There we go. So climbing is a little bit difficult. I have not figured that out yet completely, because it doesn't have the performance really. I would say the performance is about the same as a Vision Jet. It's slow, has a slow climb rate. It also doesn't go as high. I mean, the service ceiling is about 24,000 feet. So the climb is gonna be taking a while. But yeah, let's go ahead and climb the cruise, and then we'll see you once we are at cruising out. Alright, we are reaching our cruising altitude of 22,000 feet into the beautiful sunset right here. Got the mountains to our left. Very nice. Climbing wasn't all too bad. It is pretty difficult because you don't have auto throttle, so you have to really watch your speed. Because last time I've tried climbing, I stalled out twice. So that's how difficult it is to actually climb with this aircraft. Okay, let's go ahead and set this to cruise. And then I'm just gonna set the throttle back. There we go. This is what I don't understand yet, because this is a lot of thrust gone. So maybe it's better if I just leave it in the yellow. Actually, now it's going up. Yeah, that seems a lot better. Yeah, I don't know, throttle and climbing is pretty difficult in this plane. I haven't really understood that yet. Go ahead and look at the VNAV. Alright, we need Spain at 16,000 feet. And execute. Hopefully it should give us a top of descent, which it does. So that's good, that's being displayed at least. And hopefully it'll work. Alright, we'll see you once we are starting to descend. In the meanwhile, enjoy the flight. Alright, we've started descent, we're gonna have to pull back some power now. So VNAV is working, that's good. And we still have this beautiful sunset with the mountains. Flight so far went pretty smooth, no complaints there. So let's go ahead and start descent, and we'll see you at the final approach. Alright guys, we're back at the final approach now. It was a little finicky to get the glide slope and the localizer, but what I had to do is turn on vertical speed mode and automatically go down to capture the glide slope. And my localizer was offset quite a bit as well. Let's go ahead and lower the gear, slow down a little bit more. This aircraft does have a lot of issues slowing down. I think it's because the idle speed is just so high. I mean, even at idle, you can taxi around without issues. Seems a little low to me, to be honest. Let's go ahead and turn off autopilot. Seems a little too low for me. I don't think the glide stop is working right for this airport at least. Oh, we got a good approach. Get some speed here again. Let's see how the landing goes. Like I said, hand flying is a lot of fun for this aircraft. And again, for 20 bucks, it's beautiful. And not sure why the glide slope brought us this low. I mean, I was at approach mode. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe it was something with the airport. I'm not sure. Getting some trim. Again, sounds are beautiful in this plane. Turn off yaw dampener.
500.
And the reverse thrust on this is also super good. Very strong. It does not have spoilers though, keep that in mind.
$200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
A little too hard, but that's fine. Wasn't all too bad. And there you go. Already slowed down quite a bit. Landing can be easy if you have no winds or if you have full headwinds, but it can also be difficult because the plane does like to tip to the left and right sometimes. So landing and takeoff, pretty difficult, or it can be difficult, but hand flying is super smooth and feels great. But yeah, my final thoughts, I mean, for 20 bucks you can't do anything wrong. I'm pretty sure all the kings and stuff, they're gonna update it here soon. And then, like I said, sounds are great, graphics are good, physics are really good. The only kinks that I see is the FMC, missing stars and sits, and then the autopilot sometimes I feel like doesn't do what I tell it to do. But it might also be a pilot error because it is a whole new autopilot that I've never seen before, and maybe I'm just not using it right. Climbing is pretty difficult with the throttle, and I think most people will have to do a throttle calibration or make a new profile because the throttle is very different to all the other planes. Like I said, you can press so many buttons here. I mean, probably more buttons than on your fly-by-wire Airbus A320. I probably don't think it is as study level as a PMDG plane or maybe a Phoenix plane or maybe even the fly-by-wire one, but it does require some sort of studying at least and getting some training in to get used to all the new systems. But yeah, overall good plane. I can definitely recommend it. 20 bucks. I mean, like I said, there are worse planes for more money on the marketplace. and you can't really do a whole lot wrong with this plane. You saw me fly, or you saw me do a whole flight from start to finish, and really not much went wrong at all. So you can easily fly this on Vatsim as well. Let's go ahead and find ourselves a parking spot and then shut down the aircraft. Alright, here we are. Took me a little while to find a parking spot because I don't have this scenery and all the default markings and taxiways are kinda messed up. Yeah, let's go ahead and shut down the aircraft. So we will lose some electrical power right when we go back to feather. Just like that. Turn on the gas lock. Turn off all the lights. The hydraulics off. And shut this completely off. There we go. And it's as simple as that, and I forgot to switch this back earlier, but you know, just make sure you don't forget about that. Cool. Alright, that's the ATR 42-600. Very good aircraft, some tiny kinks, but it doesn't prevent you from doing a full flight at all, even on Vatsim. It should work out perfectly fine. Alright, that was my personal thoughts and my opinions on the plane. Hope you all enjoyed watching, and we'll see you next time.